Hi, welcome to my new unit on identities in Trig. And the first video that I'm going to do is dealing with simplify trig expressions. And we're going to simplify by adding, subtracting, multiplying, and divide. But before we start, to help with identities, the units that are needed are primary trig ratios in the section on trig, the reciprocal trig ratios also in the section on trig, and the rational expressions in the section on algebra 2. These units would be excellent to do first because they would help you in understanding how to deal with identities. So let's start. Add and subtract trig expressions. Simplify each. So adding and subtracting is, let me write a parallel one. 4x plus 3x. If you were adding these algebraic terms, you would get a 7x. So that's the same as when you're doing adding in trig. The cos theta and the sine theta are the same. So when you add, you get a 4 plus 3 is 7 cos theta. Now theta is an angle symbol. There are thetas and betas and alphas, and it could be x's and a's, but it makes no difference. But you'll see more of this as we do more units in trig. And also b, we're going to 3 sine minus sine theta. Notice the sine theta is the same, they're like terms, so 3 minus 1 is 2 sine theta. And c, we got 5 sine plus 4 cos minus 2 sine plus 3 cos, and we add like terms, so the sine thetas are the same. So 5 sine minus 2 sine gives me 3 sine theta, and 4 cos plus 1 cos theta, 4 cos theta plus 1 cos theta is 5 cos theta. Notice here, these are sine theta, cos theta. That's like a 3x add on of 5y. We cannot add these because they're not like terms. So therefore we can't combine the 5 and the 3 to get an 8 because sine theta and cos theta are different. And we're adding expressions here, doubles. So we can group. We have cos plus 1 add on cos plus 4, cos theta that is. So we'll group the like terms. Notice because we're adding, the cos is not changed. So that's 2 cos theta plus 5. The cos thetas go together. Notice they're not changed. And the same here, but I have a subtraction. And when we subtract, we add on the opposite. Or another, I'll do that. So that's sine theta minus 3. When we subtract, we make the sine theta a negative sine theta, and we make the negative 1 a positive 1. Another way to look at this is put a 1 there and a 1 there. So 1 times sine theta minus 3, same. If you put a 1 here, you get a negative 1 times sine theta is negative. Negative 1 times negative is positive. So that's another little trick to put the negative 1 there. And we have the sine theta cancel out, and negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So that's adding and subtracting. So pause the video and see if you can get these right. Here we go. Number 1, they're the same terms. So 2 subtract 6 is negative 4 cos theta. And right here we have 7 sine theta, cos theta, sine. So these two go together. 7 plus 1 is 8. So it's 8 sine theta plus 3 cos theta. Again, sine theta and cos theta cannot go together because they're not like terms. And we're adding. So we have, when we're adding, we don't change. So 4 cos theta minus cos theta minus 2 plus 3. So that gives me 4 minus 1 is 3 cos theta plus 1. And again, we have a subtraction, and when we subtract, we add on the opposite. So 12 sine theta plus 4, we're subtracting, so that makes that a negative 7 sine theta and a negative 1. And again, put a 1 here, multiply by 1, same terms. And we put a 1 here, we get a negative 1 times these two. Notice a negative times 7 is negative, negative times 1 is negative. And like terms, we add the sign, so that's a 5 sine theta plus 3. And that's adding and subtracting. And again, very similar to the algebra, adding and subtracting like terms. What about multiplying algebraic expressions? Well, let me do some for you. Some examples is simplify. Cos times cos, they're the same. So that's like multiplying a times a, where you get an a squared. So this is cos squared a, the square. So notice it's the cos theta times cos theta squared. So it's the same as this, but instead of putting the square here, they put the square in here. So that's cos of theta being squared. You could write it like this, but you won't see it around too often. It'll be written down like this mostly. And we're multiplying with fractions, and that's sine over 1. So we multiply, we cancel top to bottom. That's a 1 and a 1, so the answer is 1. And we have cos theta times these two terms. So cos theta times 1 is cos theta. And cos theta times cos theta is cos theta squared. So it's cos squared theta again. Cos theta times cos theta is cos theta squared, which is written as this. You won't see it like this too often. Sine theta times 4 is 4 sine theta. Notice the monomial goes in front. You probably would not write it like this. So the 4 is multiplied by the sine, so put the 4 in front. Don't write it with, now you could do that with double brackets, but it's preferred to put the monomial in front. Like when you multiply x, if you multiply a by 3, then you write the 3a is a better way. A times 3 is a 3, goes in front 3a. E cos theta times sine theta is just sine theta, cos theta, sine theta. The multiplication is understood to be in the middle. That's like an a times a b, it's just ab. There's no sign in the middle, is understood to be multiplication. F, sine theta times sine theta is sine theta squared, so it's sine squared theta. And sine theta times 2 is 2 sine theta. Notice it's distributed. Sine theta is multiplied by both of these terms. And we have a multiplication here with a fraction, so put it over 1. And cos is on the bottom, cos theta is on top, so they cancel 1, and that cancels to give me a cos theta. Notice cos squared theta, there's two of them here. Notice that cos squared theta is the same as cos theta times cos theta. So cos cancels into here to give you cos theta. And there's two of them. So that's a 1, and that's a 2. 2 subtract 1 gives you 1 left, so the power here is 1. We're multiplying fractions. We cancel if we can. So the signs cancel out, top and bottom. The cos cancels out, top and bottom. And we get 1 over 1, which is 1. And that's a little bit on multiplication. Now you practice. Practice means pause the video and work out these 6 answers, and then press play to see if you're right. Sine times sine is sine squared theta. Cos theta times 3 is 3 cos theta. Cos times sine times cos, it could be cos times cos is cos squared, so it's cos squared theta and sine theta. Now you could have put the sine first, sine theta times cos squared, your choice. So sine times 1, sine theta times 1 is sine theta, and sine times sine is sine squared theta. And we're multiplying these two, that's over 1, so we're multiplying fractions. The cos is on the bottom, cos theta is on top, cancels out. So sine times 1 is sine theta over 1, which is sine theta. And we're multiplying these three, so we can put it over 1, We're multiplying. Because we're multiplying, we can cancel anywhere from top to bottom, numerator to denominator. So cos theta there cancels with this cos theta. So we get sine times 1, which is sine theta times 1 is sine theta. Okay, multiplication. Again, very similar to multiplying with x's and y's and a's and b's. Same thing. Here we go. Division. Simplify each. We're dividing, so because we're dividing, notice cos theta divided by cos theta cancels out to give you a 1. That's like an x divided by x is 1, or y divided by y, or 4a divided by 4a, they cancel to give you 1, so the same here. Sine squared theta divided by sine is, remember, this is sine theta times sine theta, so they cancel to give you a sine. Remember, sine squared theta is sine theta sine theta. So sine squared theta is sine times sine, so we put it over sine like this. So there's sine squared is sine times sine, so you cancel and you get sine left. Or that's a 2 exponent and that's a 1. 2 subtract 1 gives you 1. C, 2 cos theta divided by cos theta. Because you're dividing, you can cancel these out to have a 2. Notice that's a multiplication, so you can cancel. And the same here. We got sine times cos divided by sine. Sines cancel, and you get a cos. They cancel 1, 1. So that's like a 4x divided by 4. The 4's canceled just to get an x, so it's the same idea. We're multiplying here, and we're dividing. So because we're multiplying, dividing, we can cancel the causes, and we get 1 plus sine theta. Multiplying causes on the top, causes on the bottom, so we can cancel. And we have sine divided by, so that's the same as sine theta. Because we're dividing, we multiply by the reciprocal, which is sine theta over 1. So notice we're dividing here. So that's, you could go sine theta divided by, like that if you want. So that's the division here, because this long bar here is doing the division. The longer or the thicker bar is the one that's doing division, like in complex fractions that we did in rational expressions. So we could rewrite this expression as a division with this long bar here, and dividing is multiplying by the reciprocal, so that gives us sine squared theta. And we're squaring, so the square is 1 cos theta times 1 cos theta, and 1 times 1 is 1, and cos times cos is cos squared theta. When I say cos now, cosine, I say cos in turn for cosine, just to make it plain. And practice with these. Pause your video and work these out. So sine divided by sine cancels, 1, 1 to give us a 1. And the cos cancels here because it's cos on top, cos on the bottom, so they cancel. 1, that cancels to give me a cos, so that's 1 over cos theta. And again, that's the power of 1, and that's the power of 2, so 2 subtract 1, there's 1 cos on the bottom. And number 3, this is the multiplication, and on the top, multiplication on the bottom. Because we're dividing, 2 goes into 8 4 times. Cos cancels out, and we get 4, that's a 1, and that's a 1, so that's 4 sine theta. And again, we're multiplying here and dividing here. So we do multiply and divide. We can cancel out the signs. And we get cos theta minus 1. And we have what we call complex fraction. So again, this is long line here is the division. So that's 1 sine theta. Because we're dividing, we multiply by the reciprocal. So it's cos theta over sine theta. So dividing by this fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. And when we do, we have fractions, we cancel numerator, denominator. That cancels, and we get 1 over sine. Later on, you'll learn other names for these, but I'm just going through the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division skills. And number 6, we're squaring, so that's sine theta over cos theta times sine theta over cos theta. So that gives us sine times sine is sine squared, and cos times cos is cos squared. And again, there are other names that you're going to learn later. Not to bore you right now. Just going through. And what about a combination? And when we do a combination of these, remember when we do a combination, we're thinking of PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S-P, or BED, B-E-D-M-A-S. PEMDAS or BEDMAS, and you know that's the order of operations as brackets or exponents. Brackets, P is for parentheses, B is for brackets. Then you got exponents or powers, multiplication, division, either or, left or right, and then addition and subtraction, either or, left or right, whatever comes first. So, the combination, we have no brackets, we have no exponents, so we're going to multiply and divide. So we got a multiplication here, so we'll work with this multiplication, they cancel, and I get a 1. And I also have to do this multiplication, so they cancel, and I get a 1, and now I can add last. So I do the 2 multiplications and then add after. B, I can't do inside the brackets, but I have to square this. So 1 over cos squared becomes 1 times 1 is 1, and cos times cos is cos squared. So I did my exponent first. My exponent is done first. Remember, we're doing PEMDAS. P-E-M. Keep that in mind. Always order of operations. We have the inside the brackets can't be done, but we got to do our exponent. So that's why we did the square first. That's done. Now this is all multiplication. So because we're multiplying, that's over 1. That's over 1. We cancel top to bottom we can. Cos squared is there. Cancels. Cos squared is there. We cancel them out. And we get sine on the top over 1. And that's just sine. So I didn't have to put over 1 because it's understood to be just sine. And combinations, we are adding. So notice we're subtracting, but can we divide these first rather than subtract first? So let's see. Can we cancel? Yes, we can cancel this as a fraction. 4 cos theta divided by cos. We can cancel those to get a 4. The signs is division, so we can cancel the signs to get a 1. And now that we have the divisions done, we can subtract. So PEMDAS again. And we have a D, we have multiplication. So we'll multiply, let's see, we can cancel. So we can cancel the signs. Done. And now we can go cos times cos is cos squared. And cos times sine is cos theta sine theta. So notice I did the division first and then I multiplied after. You could multiply cos sine by both of these and then divide by sine, but it's easier if you cancel the signs first and then multiply them. And we have a practice here, so pause the video and work these out. Here we go. So cos times cos, we have PEMDAS, we have everything is simplified. We have to do, there's no powers, there's no brackets being squared like this or cubed. So we multiply and divide. So we multiply first. That gives us cos theta times cos theta is cos squared theta. Now we divide next. So 3 cos cubed divided by cos. Remember, that's a 1. So 3 subtract 1 is 2. When we divide, we cancel out. We subtract the exponents. And they're the same. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 cos squared theta. They're like terms. So we get 1 plus 1 is 2 cos squared theta. Number 2, we look around and we have to do, can't do the brackets, there's no powers, so we have to, notice this is a multiplication, so I have to multiply this one first. So that gives us 3 cos theta. Because I'm multiplying these, the signs will cancel because we're dividing. So 1 times cos times 1 is cos. And 1 plus 1, we're adding like terms because it's 4 cos theta. So we're still obeying PEMDAS. We have to multiply these first, and then we have to add next. And we have this one. So we can, there's a couple of ideas here. I can't add these, but I can divide. So I can, let me show you a couple of ideas here. One is that I can do cos squared theta divided by 4 cos plus 4 cos theta divided by 4 cos. So I can take this 4 cos and divide it into both of these. Here it is. Now, once I have that done, I can now simplify this fraction to get a 2 cos theta right there. And I can simplify this fraction to get a 1. That's one way of doing it. Or another possibility here is that I could factor these two. 4 is the GCF, so 4 cos. Notice. 4 is the GCF and cos is the GCF. So 8 cos squared divided by 4 cos is 2 cos theta. And you take 4 cos out of that. 4 cos divided by 4 cos theta divided by 4 cos theta is 1. Notice I'm taking out the GCF, which is 4 cos theta. It gives me this all over 4 cos theta. Now that I have it factored, notice that 4 cos theta cancels, cancels out. So it gives me 2 cos theta plus 1. So 2 ways of doing it, your choice. You take the 4 cos theta and divide into both of them, you get that answer. Or you can factor the numerator first and then cancel. And number 4, we have a PEMDAS, we have no brackets, no powers, so we have to work this fraction here, we have to divide. So the cos cancels out to give me 5 sine theta. And the sines cancels out to give me a sine theta. So that's 2 sine theta. And now we can, they're like terms, so that's sine theta. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So we did the division first, and then we subtracted after. And that brings us to the end of simplifying expressions in trig, addition, subtraction, multiplying, division. And just a few of the videos that I'm going to do, these are introducing the topic of identities. And if you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.